Hello, hello, hello. Everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, can you believe it? Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe it? We got bubbles. We got robbed at work, guys. This is some tea. This is some tea. Where's my little ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling? Let me see. Let me figure out how to. There. I don't have a glass cup because I break glasses, so hit my cup there. Ding, 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 ding. I got some tea for you guys. Now, guys, this is a serious note. The world's getting crazy. The world's getting super, absolutely ridiculous, absolutely crazy. I myself can't fathom what's going on with this world, and sometimes, myself gets confused. And I have got to say, guys, it is not cool, and people have been stealing constantly at my job. Customers have been stealing, and I had a feeling. I had a gut feeling, guys. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. Now, this happened on Friday, I believe. I believe on Friday. It has to be Friday. Yeah, I think Friday. Because my manager wasn't going to be there either the next day. So, guys, it's very shocking to me. At the same time, I'm glad I wasn't there, and I'm glad I wasn't hurt or anything, or anybody wasn't hurt. Whenever it happens to you or happens to someone else, everybody says the same thing. I'm glad that you're okay and everything. Right? Everybody says the same thing. I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that, you know, the store's okay, stuff like that. Because it could have been worse. So, what ticked me off the worst, guys, was I knew it was coming. I knew it. So, the day before that, on Thursday, and it's so crazy too, I wanted to come home and do a live stream like ASAP because I was so shocked. I was so shocked at what happened. So, that day was the weirdest day ever. On Thursday, I'm talking about Thursday. I'm not talking about the day that it happened. Thursday, it was my time to close. And we close at 10 o'clock. And by the way, guys, it has been raining and it's getting a little bit dark. It's only 6:28. So, that Thursday, I felt like around 3 or 4 o'clock is when I felt so many sketchy people. Like, even though there was not that many sketchy people, I just felt like it was a sketchy ass day. I mean, mofo day. The first thing that happened was in the morning, there was a lady at the bus stop. Now, I work near a busy street. So there's going to be a bus stops, high traffic bus stop. So there's a bus stop, and there's a lady. Supposedly she's a homeless lady, and a crackhead, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs all the way, and all morning she was screaming. And mind you, guys, I'm talking about my day at that time and how I felt on Thursday. I'm not talking about the time yet until we get further. I am probably going to make this a 31-minute live stream. And the lady was just screaming. And after that, I was like, man, that's so weird. Hopefully she gets help or something. All of a sudden, here comes my lunch, and I'm on lunch and I'm in the corner, but it's very hot that day, guys. It was very hot on Thursday. So I just parked. I had my little my sun visors up. I have a little foldable sun visor. I had that up, and I heard woo 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 woo, and then it stopped. Police sirens. There were sirens, and I'm like, that's right here. So I look over, and I see that they're attesting to the lady that was at the bus stop, and I'm like, okay, all right, I got some tea. I got some live action. So I drove up and then parked a little bit closer. The lady at the bus stop, she went crazy. She went crazy. She was butt naked, guys. I mean butt naked. She had nothing on. Nothing at all. She was in a hurdle position, and she was just going back and forth, back and forth. And there's a church literally right next door. I mean, right in front, actually. Not next door, but right in front. The bus stop is right there. The lady, of course, the paramedics, Metro Police came in, and they gave her a shawl so that way she can not be exposed. But she, like I said, she was exposed. So that was one weird thing that happened that day. Continuing on, a couple of people were stealing and a couple of people were being sketched. And I just had a weird feeling on Thursday. Something was going to happen. And then around 6 o'clock is when everybody starts, all the midshift people start going home. And so I was going to give one of my employees a pep talk, because yesterday, the day before that, some guys came in with the hoodies over their head, and I couldn't see anything because I can't accuse them either because I wasn't there. But they had hoodies, and then they ran out the door as they were beeping, and I couldn't do nothing about it. And then so to that Thursday, I said to myself, I said, you know what? From now on, nobody with a hoodie can come in my store. If they have a hoodie, they have to have the hoodie down. If they have a bandana, they have to have the bandana down or an excuse. And nobody can be here because that's how things get stolen. Sketchy people all the time want to wear a hoodie in 100-degree weather all the time. It makes no freaking sense. And I'm hot, I'm sweating, and they're over here like, okay, I'm gonna put a hoodie on. Like, bro, that's sketch as AF. So then I was gonna go tell my employee that night, which is Thursday. I was gonna tell him. I called his name and I didn't see him, and then I saw one of my other employees, and I said, so what time you leave? And he says, I'm closing tonight. And I was like, oh really? Oh man, I thought I was gonna have to give blah 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 a pep talk. Hold on, let me get some more. Let me refill my cup. Hold on. Actually, let me refill my cup and empty my cup. All right, I'll come back. So I was telling the guy, I said, oh, okay, good. I don't have to give just him the pep talk. And then he shrugs his shoulder like, what the heck is a pep talk? I told the guy, I said, look, if I yell and I'm at the counter, zone aisle 3, and I repeatedly say zone aisle 3, I want you to know that I feel like someone is stealing, and you go over there and take a look and see what happens. See if they're stealing. And I said, and also, nobody with hoodies is allowed in my store at night. Nobody with hoodies. If they have a hoodie, they have to have the hoodie down. And then he's like, oh, you're paranoid. I said, bro, I'm not paranoid. I feel some sort of way, bro. And then he's all like, oh yeah, you're paranoid. And then I was like, again, I feel a certain way. And then he's like, well, it doesn't matter anyways, because whatever gets stolen, the company has insurance. And I said, don't tell me about insurance with the company. You are the employee. You're paid for the insurance. If something gets stolen and we counted it for, that's your hours. They're not going to pay you. And that's the thing. It's a rotational thing, like the government always does. Just because the company has insurance doesn't mean that they're all the way fully insured. That just means that, oh, the employees will take a hit. And it's raining all of a sudden. And mind you, look into that. It's pretty intense. So then, the other guy comes in, and I said, look, I'm going to tell you like I told him. And I told him the same thing. After I told him, he's like, and there'd be a lot of people that being crazy. I said, I'm just letting you know. I feel something tonight. I feel something's going to happen tonight. I don't know what it is. Just bear with me. It might seem like I'm paranoid or whatever, but I feel something. And I thought I had 3 closers that night, but the other guy said that he was going home at 8 o'clock. When he went home at 8 o'clock that night, I said, man, you sure you don't want to stay? I can have him stay or anything, because he's a good guy. And I said, just because, I feel some sort of way. And he's like, ain't nothing gonna happen. And like, whenever people still don't understand, like ghosts and stuff. If a person feels some sort of way, go with it, guys. Go with it. Don't be like, oh, you're talking crazy. Oh, nothing's gonna happen. Would y'all stop talking like that? Like, if a person feels a certain way, go with it. Don't be like, nothing's gonna happen. So after that, the night was clear. We closed down. I had my car facing my facility because I have dash cameras, so I have it facing it. And nothing happened that night, guys. Nothing. But I was relieved. I came home and I felt like a weight lifted off my shoulder. Now on to the real story, guys. I left that day on Friday, and I felt something still. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, guys. I really didn't. So I was closing down my stuff, and I wasn't closing. I left at 8 o'clock, 8:01 or something like that, around 8 o'clock. And I told the guy, I said, make sure you sweep, which is make sure you sweep the night log, because we have people pay $100 all the freaking time, and it's annoying. I said, make sure you sweep. People have been paying it $100, and don't take any more $100 and stuff. And I just kept telling him, like, well, I don't want to sweep, and I don't want to sweep. And I said, you gotta sweep, put it in there, put it in there. So then after that, I left. I have an app called a Citizens app, guys. If y'all don't know what Citizens app is, y'all better go get it. Citizens app is an app where you can see crime in your area. It's not 100% sure that it will catch everything. There is a small fee, they say, to get a subscription, but I don't do all that. I just get the free basic one. You don't have to do all that. And so that night, on a Friday, that Friday night, it was at 10 something. I'm over here on TikTok Live. I am watching people's TikTok lives. All of a sudden, I hear, and then I was like, what the heck was that? And I'm like, I'm always watching that app, and so when I watched that app, I seen it. It said robbery. Like, okay, so I'm a little shocked right there because I just it hurts me inside because that's my job. So I saw robbery at dot location, and it said my company name, and I was shocked, and I was like, oh, no freaking way! No, I knew it was gonna happen. Like, I was so angry. I don't know what happened. It was so many mixed emotions. I was just so angry that it happened. Whatever happened, happened. And I got up so fast. I dropped my phone and I was like, no freaking way, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. I can't believe it is happening. And I said, oh no, I have to go there. I have to go to work. I have to go to work right now. I have to see if they're okay. And right then and there, my motherly instinct was to go check on my employees. I had to go check on my employees, and one of my employees is 17 years old. He is 17 years old. And my heart dropped, and I got ready so fast. I called my grandma and I said, Grandma, did you see what happened? And she's like, what? What happened? And then I told her, look at Citizens app. Look at Citizens app. I said, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. I felt it. I felt it. And she just said, okay, calm down. What's going on? I said, I'm not at work right now, but I got to get to work. She's like, but it's 10 o'clock at night. You can't be running the streets. I said, I have to go. My employees are in danger, and I have to go attest to them. I said, I don't know what's happening. I don't feel right being here and knowing that my store just got shot up. And so after that, I hung up the phone. I got dressed as fast as I can. I drove as fast as I can. Well, actually, before that, I called my manager and said, did you see what happened? She's like, yeah. Did someone call you? I said, no, I saw the Citizens app. I said, I'm on my way. She's like, I'm on my way now. And so we were all on our way. So I drove up. I got there, parked, and there was nothing but cops, just like 3 cops at least. And I was like, man, I was in an instinct prepared to fight, prepared to shoot up someone because I was getting in highly protective mode where it's like, this is my youngest employee. This cannot be happening. And if I find him like, gone, it would literally break my heart. Like, literally, I would stop crying. I would start crying. But yeah, guys, oh my gosh, guys, it was a freaking night. When I got there, the police were there, and everybody that night, which was only one manager and that one other worker, everybody that night was there. So I'm all like, oh, thank goodness that y'all are right. I'm freaking out. I am going crazy. In my mind, I'm so freaking mad. I am so mad. And I said, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. I freaking knew it was gonna happen. So the cops were interviewing, them too and saying what happened. So here's where the juicy story comes in, guys. And we're about to, hold on, let me see. Where it happened and how it happened. Okay. I have to close my window a little bit. Let me go take a piss real quick before I tell you this. Okay, I'm coming back. So my youngest employee, He's 17 years old. He was taking out the trash, guys. He was taking out the trash. He said, I was taking out the trash and this happened. And I said, what time did you take out the trash? Like, I was angry because I know them and I know they be slacking sometimes. And I know that they don't care sometimes about how the store looks or whatever. But he said, I was taking out the trash. It was 9:50, around 9:50. I said, we close at 10 o'clock. You're supposed to take out the trash at 8:30. You're not supposed to take out the trash at 9:50. And he was like, yeah. And then so I was angry because he took out the trash that late. But I was still like, a lot of things could have happened to him, which kind of made me a little overwhelmed. So he said that when he was taking out the trash, and mind you, the trash is in the back of the building, like always, and they have little gates in the trash. So he was taking out the trash with a cart. He had took out 2 trash bags and stuff, put it on the cart, and was putting the trash bags in there. Some guy, a African American, like a typical African American will, and again, if you're never on my channel, you know how I am about these African Americans. He went up to him, put a gun right on his hip, abdominal area, and he said, look, listen to me very closely. And this is the words that are coming out of my employee, the 17-year-old's mouth, that this is what he said. He said he put the gun right here into his abdomen. He said, look, listen to me. I want you to go inside and give me all the money. And the way he said it, he's like, it was just like a movie. It was just like a horror movie or a movie where they tell you to listen and listen closely. And he walked through the facility because sometimes my guys, they go through the back door and take out the trash. I'd rather them take out the trash to the back door than the front door, because through the front door on the side, there's no cameras. So he was coming from the back door. He yelled, the guy with the gun to my 17-year-old's hip, abdominal area, he walked with him all the way inside. My employee kept hollering to the manager at that night and just kept saying, let me make let me say Alex. Let's just call him Alex. So he was calling Alex. So my employee, the 17-year-old, was being captive by this person, walking through the aisle, going towards the safe. So he kept saying, Alex, 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 Alex. And then so Alex was like, yeah, like that's not normal for him to say my name that many times. And then after he said that, he said, I want you to, it was 3 guys, mind you, 3 guys. He said, I want all the money from the safe. I want all the money from the register. And then that's when, hold on. That's when they gave him all the money. And the manager at that time gave him all the money from the safe, gave him all the money from the registers. Wow, they had guns pointed to them. They had guns pointing to them, and they cooperated, thank goodness, because that's all you can do. Whenever you're at gunpoint, some people think about their family at that point, and very understandable, but at the same time, that's really all you can do legally. Legally, all you can do is just go with it. I know it sucks. It sucks. Like you want to be the hero. You want to be the hero in this situation, but you can't. You cannot do anything because if you were the hero, you'll get fired immediately because oh you fought a criminal. You know better that you're supposed to just let the criminal do criminal things and go with it. You can't be a hero apparently in your job or in the real world sometimes. So then that's what they told me that happened. They gave them all the cash. After that, they ran out the back door where they came from and left and skedaddled. Y'all know, guys, if you ever had this encounter before of getting robbed, it's a weird, icky feeling, guys. It is a weird, icky feeling. So I'm just very glad that my 17-year-old didn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt. He still said he was in shock. He didn't know how to feel. He's like, I'm all right. I'm fine. You know. In reality, no, I don't think you are fine. He didn't even know what PTSD means. He's like, what is PTSD? I was like, oh my God. That's how young he is. That's why it scares me that my company hires minors for that reason. Because I don't know. They don't know nothing. They don't know. They can like someone. Like, there's so many factors behind hiring a minor. It's not even funny. So I'm so glad that nobody actually was hurt and they cooperated. The time being, after that time, like all we did was accept cash. I mean, all we did is accept card the next day. Like the next day felt weird and ugly. Like we knew everybody kind of had a feeling like what happened. Like it feels different in here. Like you feel that feeling that of uckiness. It's just a weird feeling. And again, you know, I know, but people don't know and know how to act when things are not happening correctly. A lot of people are not prepared for it. I'm the only one that prepares for everything. I hear shots fired. What am I going to do? I fall on my bike. What am I going to do? I cross this intersection. What am I going to do next? What's going to happen next is what my thing is. If this happens to me, if this happens to me, I know that we humans get in a state of shock. We freeze. We don't know. We like I could have froze at that time too as well, but I would have gone with it. That's all I can do is go with it. Go with it or lose my job. And you know me, I'm a fighter. I would want to be the hero. I would want to be the Batman in this world. But I can't because the rules state at the job, at any job, guys, any job, you do not fight or you do not kick or you do not touch the thieves and just let them go. Any job. That's why we are the economy that we are. Because the way the world is. Hello, hello, diamonds. Oh my goodness, I was going to end the stream soon. What's up, diamonds? Long time no see. And so, guys, I just cannot say it enough that I'm so thankful that they're okay. Just got done eating dinner. Yeah, been working and working. Same as me, man. Same as me, but I feel a little icky to myself or what happened. It's just it's not cool what happened to at my job. I feel like you know, I have to close on I always forget. I think it's Friday and Saturday. I have to close. But you know, I just I just don't know. I just don't know, bro. The way the way the way I feel is already gone. That feeling is not there anymore, which I'm glad because whew, I knew something was gonna happen. Yeah, what happened? I just explained it. I've been here for 29 minutes. I just had a full-on conversation with my own self in the internet world on what happened. But a rundown is that we got robbed at gunpoint at my job. I wasn't there. If you want to hear the full story, you can go all the way back and hear the full story. But let's sum up. Let me go empty back up. Hold on. The sum up is that happened at my job, and I had a feeling it was. I had a feeling it was gonna happen. I just didn't know when it was. I knew that we were gonna have some sort of scandal, but again, I didn't know when. I just knew it was some sort of scandal, and who knows what could have happened. If I was in defense mode, I have a 17-year-old employee. He's about to turn 18. He's still a minor, and all I could think about is his future. Like, I just went in complete defense mode and like mom type, like, no, he's too young to die. I mean, he's too young to not live on this earth anymore. And I just, oh, and he has a kid too. He had a kid at 16 years old. Yeah, he might have did bad in his early age. He just 1 year, but still, like, that's not cool. I mean, he's trying to work to not pay bills yet. He lives under his grandpa's roof, but he's trying to work to make extra income for the baby, for his kid, and whenever you're a young father or young mother, you know, you try your hardest to to do whatever it takes while you're under your parents' roof. A lot of people don't see that. And yeah, you're young and dumb. I even told him, why do you want to have a kid young? He's like, it just happened. I'm like, I know it just happened, but you're freaking 16. It's crazy, but I'm just glad that he's okay. And sometimes I just think about it sometimes, and I'm all like, if that robber was to actually K him, he would have been highly in jail because he killed him. I mean, he K'd a minor. We got some live action over here. Vehicle collision. Ooh, 500 feet away. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it is pretty intense. And also, Diamonds, I'm sick. So I have so much mucus and it's getting dark too. I already played my video games. So I'm Gucci for the night. I might eat me something. I'm not too hungry because I've been sick. I'm sweating. And Paku. Oh yeah, Paku. It's not even that dark. It's 6 o'clock. It's only 6 o'clock too. But it's just intense, guys. I don't know what else to say, but intense, intense. You always have to be prepared at your job, no matter what happens. And I tell everybody the same way. I still don't understand. I haven't lived that life of unpreparedness. I haven't. Because ever since I was a little youngster, I was always prepared for something. I've always been, they called me negative. I've always been negative in my life. That people are like, you're always thinking negative. I'm not always thinking negative. I'm thinking about the outcomes. I always think about the outcomes. Every single outcome. What if this happens this? What if this happens that? When I was young, guys, when I was freaking young, maybe 9, 7, 5 years old, man, I was always thinking that way. I never stopped thinking that way. And still to this day, I never stopped thinking of anything that could happen. Somebody was to knock down my door. You actually would see it right here because I am literally at my front door. But if somebody was to, knock on my door at night, and what am I going to do? What am I going to say? How am I going to do? If the apartment was to get on fire, what would I do? What would my first actions be? Of course, my first actions would be like shocked that I knew was going to happen or something like this is going to happen. Get my animals together. Of course, that's all I'm going to think about is getting my animals together. People are in shock. They're just like, oh my God, this is why, you have the animals in the cage at night. Sometimes cats and dogs are afraid of roam sometimes. But if you have an animal in your cage and you feel like, if you feel like somebody downstairs might, be crazy, like my downstairs neighbor was, and we'll get into that later in the sessions, but I did have a cuckoo butt downstairs neighbor. But, y'all guys, you just never know. Oh. Y'all just never know what's going to happen. Always be prepared. I was prepared to, I was semi-prepared until one of my coworkers said that this is the 3rd time this location gets robbed, but it was only like every 3 or 4 years that it happened. And so he told me one story that they got robbed, and some guy was going behind the counter thinking it was a part, and he ended up asking for the money. After that, they had to get on the ground. The robbers told them to get on the ground, do not put your head up, and they pinned him to the ground, all of them, to make sure they do not get up. And they said, give me your wallets, give me your phones, everything. Again, like in the movies. And don't be ashamed to say that it felt like a movie. Do not be ashamed, because those movies take in consideration that things are just the way they are. You can't help it. If it's like a movie scene, what would Chuck Norris do, bro? Like, what would Chuck Norris do? Chuck Norris probably be the hype of the scene and Kate, everybody in there, but you're thinking about your own self. But guys, I constantly say over and over, that I'm prepared and everything. Will I freeze up later or will I not? The only thing too, also, guys, is that I don't know. I'm assuming there's only one facility I have not went to that there's not a panic button. Every facility has an alarm that they set at night. Every facility. You, on the bottom of the alarm system on the facility, there's called a police mode. All you do is push that button and hold it, push it or hold it, whatever it is, and it sirens the police. I don't know, I have not used it before because thank goodness I haven't, but I told them that night that there is a police button because supposedly that night they were in shock. They didn't know what to do. They actually called my store manager to ask them what do they do. They said, you're supposed to call the cops first and then call me. So they called the store manager before they even called the cops. I would have freaking pressed the button first and then call the cops and tell them that this is an actual emergency. Be on your way right now. But like, geez, guys. And I know it's a spirit of the moment thing, but it's like, it's a reality check on what would you do. I even told that to the other guy that was there. He's all like, oh, I have a feeling somebody's watching me. I said, you're the first one that said that I'm paranoid. He's like, well, no, I mean, I was like, I let him go with it. I'm not gonna like penetrate it to his head that you. He told me that other night that I was paranoid, and I told him I am paranoid. Something's gonna happen. I don't know when. Whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Just don't know when. Now he's over here himself, paranoid, looking around. He's like, I feel like someone's watching me. I feel like someone's watching me. I said, bro, if you're paranoid, that means you don't have a gun. I mean, to be honest, guys, because if you have a weapon, it's called building self-confidence and building confidence. Anybody with let's just say a deadly weapon, is going to feel confident that they're okay. Because that deadly weapon actually makes them feel comfortable. That's why a lot of people get the guns for, to make themselves feel comfortable and what's happening. So they have a way to defend themselves if anything. People that don't have a gun or don't have a knife or don't have an object, a machete or anything like that, they're going to feel paranoid. And I said, look, get yourself some guns. You'll be all right. You won't feel paranoid anymore. And he's not going to admit it, but I don't think he has any guns because he kept saying, oh yeah, I had some guns, but I had to give them away and stuff. If you're a gun enthusiast or you feel like that your life is being threatened, I don't think you would freaking give away your gun. I really don't. But all in all, guys, we all need to communicate. They did a good job in my job to communicate the way they did. And I gave them props for that. I said, y'all did great. Y'all did great. Y'all communicated with each other during that crisis. You did great. And they're like, well, what would you done? I said, I would have done the same thing. People think that I would have just shot them because, or like tried to defend myself or whatever. But the thing is, the law states that if you touch the person, you're fired already. If you try to defend yourself, and I know sometimes you want to, but you can't. The only times that you can do so is like being mischievous and doing it. I'm not gonna say on the internet world, but you just gotta know how to think and act at that moment. But yeah, guys, so I cannot believe it, guys. I cannot believe it. We got robbed at gunpoint. If you sticked around through this entire video and heard everything, I started talking more about the situation at 13 minutes, around 13 minutes. So if you see it and you'll be like, oh, well, I stuck around the whole 13 minutes. Thank you. I mean, the whole 45 minutes. Thank you. And thank you, Diamonds, for being here. And I hope you actually listen to my my whole story because it's pretty epic. But yeah, guys, I can't believe it. We got robbed at gunpoint. Let me know how you feel about that. I know it's horrible on my side. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.